Hello everyone and welcome back guys to round 4 of the F1 2019 Haas Road to Glory career mode, where today we're here at the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. And obviously if you guys are new around here, make sure you do get yourself subscribed for daily F1 2019 content on the channel. Really quite looking forward to this one here at Azerbaijan. I felt China, although I didn't sort of mention it much in the video, I felt that we were really starting to learn the game mechanics and everything like that. And from this race as well, I really do feel that I'm making big strides on F1 2019, just from like the Formula 2 races in Australia. I was, getting a lot of wheel spin, everything like that. But I feel like the consistency is getting there slowly but surely. But coming on then into this weekend's Grand Prix, you can see we have actually got 2 new upgrades on the car. The front wing downforce, the upgrade has now gone through successfully. And then the weight reduction central under tray upgrade has come in as well. So really good. A couple of small upgrades, but just now starting to build up the momentum. Hopefully we can try and keep, a good constant cycle going on now throughout the rest of this 2019 season. Get past Renault and then get up towards Force India, Red Bull, everyone like that. Because although Force India are technically below us, they just seem to be OP so far this career mode relative to their car performance. They are really hassling Red Bull after the last couple of rounds. But anyway, moving on then from free practice, a fairly simple session, as you'd probably come to expect from this series. They're nothing too crazy on this game, hence why I never really sort of show any footage from them either. Or obviously, if you guys want to go check out last video, click on the top right hand side of your screens. I would, highly recommend doing that. There's also a link to the full playlist. I'm going to start doing that now. Now we've got a couple of videos out. I will try and link the whole playlist in every single video as well. But before we move into qualifying for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix, we're going to play the strategy game. We're going to give ourselves a whole fresh new engine. Really excited to see what, the performance is like with that. Hopefully, this track is such a power-orientated circuit. What we'll probably do is we'll go back to the old engine for Spain and Monaco and then switch back over to this one for Canada as well. And probably throughout this season, we will get through a fair few engines, in all honesty. It's all about progress. We're almost going for like the Red Bull strategy of when we get upgrades, just get a fresh engine on the car. Everything like that. So yeah, hopefully you guys sort of understand that as well. Having a look at upgrades, I'm going to go with another quality control one as well for the wind tunnel, because, well, I just don't really want the aero parts failing. And generally speaking, they're good long-term investments, unless obviously you've only got a couple of upgrades to go on the game. But yeah, fresh engine then ready for the Azerbaijan qualifying session, and then obviously the race as well. More and more upgrades hopefully going to be piled onto this car over the next few weeks. It's exciting times ahead in the Haas career mode. Hopefully you guys are as hyped as me for all of this going onto the car. But anyway, let's move on then into qualifying here for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix.
The circuit has rubbered in with practice, but this is still going to be a difficult session for our drivers as they fight for pole position. Welcome to qualifying here in Azerbaijan.
So anyway, moving on then into Q1, our first session obviously of qualifying, as you'd probably expect at this point. Coming down towards the start-finish line to finish our lap, and it is going to be a 1 minute 41.3 there. We did just sneak into Q2 on that one. A little bit closer than I probably would have liked, but, a few mistakes on that run. I think we could take that one half a second off my teammate Romain Grosjean, with Sebastian Vettel being the pace setter in that opening session there. And yeah, a little bit, a few mistakes here and there. We were slowly building up the pace. One to watch, though, George Russell all the way up in P11. A fantastic job by him to get Williams into Q2 for the first time this season there. Danny Kvyat, both McLarens really struggling. Antonio Giovinazzi there and Robert Kubica, 9/10 of a second, off George Russell there in qualifying. That was really a solid showing by the Williams man. And on to Q2 we go this time around, getting, building up that pace, building up the momentum, and obviously gearing ourselves up as we come towards the final couple of corners of this lap. This was our one and only attempt of the session here, just trying to keep as many sets of tyres as we possibly can ready for, the rest of the Grand Prix weekend there. Activating the DRS as soon as possible. That just gives us that little bit of an extra boost down towards the line. It's going to be a 1 minute 40.541 there, and that would put us P10 into Q3. We go for the first time this season. Really happy with that one, and honestly wasn't expecting that. I was expecting sort of P11, P12, but yeah, no, we did make it through then into Q3 ahead of Daniel Ricciardo and my teammate Romain Grosjean. They're really happy with that one. Our first Q3 appearance of the season. And I'm going to let you guys ride on board with our full qualifying lap from Q3. Once again, a bit of a last-ditch attempt to to try and get the good run here. And yeah, let's ride on board for this entire lap here around the Azerbaijan circuit. I must admit, this lap to me felt quite good at the end of the day. As we come in towards turn 1, trying to use the ERS modes as effectively as possible there, and braking just as you clip the curb going in towards turn 1. They're a bit of a lock-up, but we do get the car nicely caught over the inside curb there. Rotates the rear end in, and then as we come in towards turn 2 there, brake just after the 100-meter board. This track, throughout the first half of that, is all about the traction zones and making sure, you know, we're reducing the wheel spin, short shifting a little bit. It does seem to be a bit better on F1 2019, a bit more useful there as we brake at the 100-meter board for turn 3, just before the 50-meter board for turn 4. And yeah, just really trying to get the car dialed in, just trying to avoid those curbs though, because they can really unsettle the rear end there. And as we come in towards sector 2, we've only dropped 4 tenths to Lewis Hamilton there, and I will really take that one. A little bit of wheel spin as we now come down this short straight there, brake about 80 meters in towards turn 8 there, just before we get to the infamous castle section. Just brake after the black box, try and go for a bit of a double turn in there, just second guessing myself as we go through the corner. And you basically just got to launch it in and pray there. Get good drive on the exit of the corner though, down this long flat out section around the back of the castle through the old city there, almost dropping it over the curbs there as we now break down in towards the second of the last. Proper corners on this lap, scrape the wall on the exit there, really trying to maximise the width of this racetrack there, and only dropping another 2 tenths from Hamilton. We run wide though out through the final proper corner there, and that was really unfortunate. That's going to cost us a little bit down towards the start finish line there, but overall a pretty decent lap if I do say so myself. Got a little bit scruffy right towards the very end there, but still overall I will take that one. Activate the DRS once more, down towards the line, make sure we don't go over the pit lane line. Shortest run to the line, it's going to be a 1 minute 40.354 there. Really happy with that one. P9 in the end of the session. I will certainly take that there. And yeah, like I said, that lap overall felt quite hooked up. Probably, you know, a good couple of tenths in that final sector. You know, when you consider the whole run up for the line, we could have probably actually, looking at that, got up towards P5. Rather worrying me there. But yeah, overall P9 for the Grand Prix. We have split the Red Bulls there. Really happy with that one ahead of Max Verstappen. And let's jump on then into the race.
Good afternoon and welcome to Baku. This was the arena, if you think back to 2017, of one of the most eventful races of modern history, with controversy behind the safety car, last-second overtakes, and a historic podium for Williams and for Lance Stroll. So let's find out what lies in store for us this year. It's time for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Baku City Circuit then, an unpredictable 3.7-mile track around the streets of the Azerbaijan capital. 20 turns for our drivers to navigate today, including the infamous Turn 8, one of the tightest and most challenging corners of the season. A warm welcome to Anthony Davidson, who's beside me in the commentary box today. Let's talk briefly about Lando Norris. They're still relatively new to a sport which does have a high learning curve and, of course, little tolerance for mistakes.
And this is something that has ended the career of many a young driver, as that leap up to Formula 1 proves to be too much. But luckily in this case, I'd say they're doing a good, solid job, and the risk the team took in signing them is definitely starting to pay off.
Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. An immense lap from Lewis Hamilton yesterday puts him on pole position, with Sebastian Vettel starting alongside. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Bottas, Leclerc, Lucas Faber and Perez, Ghaastly, Mr. Monaco, Verstappen and Daniel Ricciardo. Butler, they'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty. Grosjean, Kimi Raikkonen and Russell. Albon, Fiat, Lando Norris and Carlos Sainz. Giovinazzi and Robert Kubica takes the last spot on the grid. And with preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track.
This is a really good starting position for us. Let's try not to lose it.
So here we are then, ready on the grid for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix, and really excited for this race. It's going to be a fairly simple two-stop strategy. Sadly, the super softs from qualifying not really going to look like they're going to fare well for us in the race. So it's basically going to be a race on the medium compound tyres here. But we are then ready on the grid for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. The 5 lights are now on, and it is lights out and away we finally get going there. A huge hold of the start line. Not too happy with that one there. Max Verstappen's instantly going to try and have a look around the outside in towards turn 1. Then we bounce over the curbs, hanging out to dry on the exit there, and a bit of contact made between the pairs there as Daniel Ricciardo out of nowhere is going to try and send it up the inside in towards turn 2 there. But we do hold on right around the outside there of the Renault man, and we have just about kept it clean. Is probably a bit of an optimistic statement, but we have kept it all in one piece there as we break now down in towards turn 3. A bit of Constantina and up just in front of us there is Valtteri Bottas and Charles Leclerc, and actually Weber and Charles Leclerc going side by side as we head in towards the next couple of corners there. Break just before the 100-meter board, as basically you just break in where the guys in front of you break on the opening lap, and just hope that you don't end up involved in a bit of a pile-up here as we now come down in towards the castle section. First time in the Grand Prix, make sure everything is all up to temperature, and you do take it a little bit cautiously on the opening lap there, getting very, very close though still to all of those walls as now you try and get the drive on the exit in towards the final sector of the lap. And sadly, unfortunately, the Mercedes power unit cars just in front of me are kind of going to leave me for dead as we come onto the front straightaway there. Obviously no DRS on this opening lap, but basically going no slipstream either from Sergio Perez up the road. Daniel Ricciardo is going to be able to get a little bit of a run. It's basically even as we come in towards turn 1. Then we try and break nice and tidily. Ricciardo up the inside he goes there. We make a bit of a mistake, run a bit deep there, and a huge fishtail on the exit of the corner. Verstappen almost sent it up the inside of Danny Rick there. We're going to be able to try and get a bit of a cheeky switchback move on the Red Bull man. Are we going to be able to make any sort of move work? We have a look up the inside. Verstappen's going to go defensive as well there. It's all going to get a little bit closer. A bit of contact made between the pairs there. Verstappen almost gets sent round. A bit of a pile-up caused behind us as well there, as Butler is going to be the ever opportunist. Up the inside he goes there. We lock the rears as we come in towards the next corner, getting all over the place now. We really need to sort of just concentrate, you know, let a couple of places go and get back into a rhythm here as Kimi Räikkönen, Robert Kubica even has a bit of a look up the inside. But yeah, dropping all the way down to P13 there. That was not what I needed at this stage of the day. And I'd basically just try and focus on our own race here. You know, a lot of these guys, we don't really want to be battling for the long run. We're on a very different strategy to most of the other drivers in this Grand Prix. So we are actually going to go for a bit of an interesting strategy goal here and dive into the pit lane on the end of lap 2 here. A bit earlier than our pit stop. I think our window was lap 4, lap 5, but I just wanted to get off these tyres, and I knew the medium compound could go a long way into this Grand Prix. Effectively 2 12-lap stints was going to be the aim between now and the end of the Grand Prix, and obviously we're going to be quite a way off the rear of the field, but cleaner, everything like that. We can focus on our own race, focus on building up the momentum, everything like that, you know. And around a street circuit, you've got to remain aware, and yeah, we didn't want a catastrophe in this Grand Prix either there. On to lap 5 we go, and we're already closing up to the back of Lando Norris and Robert Kubica there. The Williams, well, Robert Kubica anyway, and the McLaren is really struggling for pace around this circuit there, as we get a monumental run out through the final chicane. They're going to be closing all the way up to these guys there. A little bit of aggression going on between the pair of them, and we're going to go past Lando Norris and fly past Robert Kubica as well. There we squeeze Robert as we try to get back out towards the racing line there. Lock up a little bit through turn 1 there, and we do just about keep the car out of the wall, and that's now going to be us back up into P18 of the Grand Prix. So making places, start to go for a couple of overtakes here and there. And I think honestly around this track, I'm pretty certain obviously you guys are all expecting this as well. There's no real point in trying to risk going for moves anywhere else. You may as well just wait for the 2 huge straights. So lap 7 now, and we're now into the slipstream of Carlos Sainz just in front of myself here. We do get, once again, look at the run we're able to get on Carlos Sainz here. I don't know what ERS modes he's running and everything like that, but we're basically past him before the DRS zone even, I should say. And yeah, now up into P17 there, as we've actually got Giovinazzi diving into the pit lane, and now up into P16. So making up places slowly but surely. But yeah, this race I was hoping would sort of come back to me right towards the very end. A little bit like China last time out, where we just aimed to, you know, be in the right position right towards the very end. But in a very different strategy this time around. They're onto the end of lap 9 now, and you can see we are now closing up the rear of Butler, one of our main rivals on this game. And I'm pretty certain in the Twitter world he's already turned into a bit of a meme as well, which is quite funny to see. Yeah, Butler would be piling on the pressure to, I think that's Alexander Albon just in front of him there. So 3 F2 rivals between us, all very, very close as we come on towards lap 10 of this Grand Prix. To the outside we go. Are we going to be able to do anything on Albon? Yes, we do. Slip round the outside. He gives me the squeeze over the curbs, almost into the wall there, and he's going to send it up the inside in towards turn 2, but we return the favour, give him the squeeze, and that's us now up into P15. Really, really happy with that overtake there. Not often do you get moves around the outside through turn 1 and turn 2 around this Grand Prix there, as we now try to close the gap to Butler once again there, but on to lap 11, and it was Kvyat now who was the car just in front of us at this stage of the day there. We're really, really getting into a rhythm, and the pace felt really, really good at this stage. Get tremendous drive off the corner as we come in towards the final braking zone of the lap there, and look at this, Kvyat just parks it on the apex. We get the front wing up the inside, and we're going to be side by side in towards the final chicane. What is going to happen here? We squeeze Kvyat there. We actually get a little bit of contact maybe between the pair of us as well. I think Kvyat came out a little bit worse for wear in that one, and somehow we don't, I think we skimmed the wall, but that, yeah, could have very, very easily been, you know, the front wheel of Kvyat's car had gone over, well, under the rear wheel of ours. You know, we could have easily been sent into the wall at a very, very high speed there, but no, this time round the luck was on our side, and we now move ourselves up into P14 of this Grand Prix there. Butler and Ghaastly starting to trip over each other just in front of me here. We're going to try and get the run. Everyone appears to have the DRS, not too sure how this one has happened. Up the inside of Ghaastly. Are we going to be able to get up the inside of Butler as well there? Once again, a bit like Verstappen, he gives me the squeeze, but we're much further alongside to warrant the space this time around there. A very, very aggressive move by myself. Around the outside, we dink the wall, but we do make it work in the end there, and that's us now back up into P12 of this Grand Prix. And George Russell, P11 at this stage of the day there, and by lap 13 the pit stop window now really starting to come to effect once more. Russell, P9, what a drive it has been so far by him, as we almost bin it coming into the pit lane there. I cannot believe how well he is doing in that Williams, and I mean, he's going to the end of this Grand Prix, so it was a net P11 at this stage of the day there. We're going to get a fairly decent 2.7 second pit stop. We get held slightly by Alexander Albon there, and yeah, coming out of the pit lane once again, all the way up in P13. So hopefully we can try and continue our point streak so far. You know, 2 out of 3, sorry, at this stage of the season so far. And yeah, overall going quite well. Lap 14 though, and George Russell, it had been a tremendous race by him so far, but we're going to have to relegate him one place further back there. He almost squeezes me into the wall there, and weirdly enough, he's gone onto a set of a hard compound tyres here, so the AI not really feeling they can make the second half of this race on the medium, so maybe we might struggle towards the end in terms of the tyre wear there, but we do get the move done, and we're now up into P12 once again of this Grand Prix. A couple of laps later, Antonio Giovinazzi in the Sauber car. They're one of the only cars that felt a lot weaker than us down the straight. Around the outside we go, and actually side by side in towards turn 1 there. Giovinazzi doesn't want to give it up, but we swoop around the outside, get good traction over the curbs, and that's us now back up into the points of this Grand Prix. Lap 19 now, closing up to the rear of the Sauber teammate here of Kimi Räikkönen. Are we going to be able to go for any sort of move on the fin as we come in towards turn 1? Well, we've got a huge DRS zone before that, and this time round Räikkönen tries to go defensive. We've got a bit of a better run this time, and yeah, it's going to be even less hassle than against his teammate, and that's us now back up into P9 of this Grand Prix. A huge fishtail as we come through turn 1, but we do hold and move and hold on to P9 of this Grand Prix there. And over the next few laps we will be trying to slowly but surely close up the gap to my teammate Roman Grosjean here. 1.8 seconds with 4 laps to go, and it was visually coming down with each and every lap, but the tyre wear once again was going to play absolutely crucial in towards the final couple of laps of this Grand Prix. The gap now down to just 0.8 of a second here as we head in towards the final lap of this Grand Prix. Are we going to be able to do anything against my teammate Roman Grosjean here? The tyres are really starting to go off with just 1 lap to go there. We're trying to put absolutely everything into this, using all the fuel, all the ERS modes we possibly can, and everything, in just half a second behind him as we head in towards the final lap of this Grand Prix. Are we going to be able to go for anything here? Just get a little bit of a moment as we come through turn 2. And unfortunately, yeah, you can see Grosjean just putting away those hard compound tyres even, I should say, right towards the very end of this stint, just just seemed to be able to hold on in the traction zones here when I was really starting to struggle on the set of the soft, on the mediums. I can't get the tyres today. We're on the mediums, he's on the hards. Hopefully that's all cleared up there. But unfortunately, as we head out of the final corner, I'm not going to try and sugarcoat it too much. There was nothing we could really do against my teammate Grosjean. I would have loved to have some brilliant clickbaity side by side to the line with my teammate, but I guess we can call this video Ghastly Overtakes with Max Verstappen as well. Though we did get very close down towards the line, but sadly, yeah, too little too late. We almost ran into the back of him as we go in towards turn 1 there. But P9 at the end of the day, more solid points. Really happy with that result there, and a double points haul for Haas once again. Consistency is key, and we're doing well.
So Mercedes have won it, and what a great race it was. Talk to me, Ant. What was it that set them apart from the competition today?
Well, I know it's a bit of a boring answer, but the truth is they simply had the best speed package on the day, and a driver who knows how to take advantage of that. It doesn't matter how much time you spend poring over the stats and planning strategies if you can't keep the pace, and our winner today showed they could do both.
After an excellent performance at the Grand Prix, I'm sure there'll be plenty of celebrations tonight amongst the Mercedes team, and they certainly deserve it. So then, it's time to see how this result affects the Drivers' Championship. After an incredible performance, Lewis Hamilton secures the top spot in the Drivers' Championship. Let's focus on the driver of the day. Anthony Davidson, who do you pick?
Romain Grosjean's my driver of the day. I don't think I've ever seen such a strong performance from him.
Let's move on to the Constructors. The lead at the top comes down after a strong weekend from the challenging pack. Another team that will be satisfied with this Grand Prix is Alfa Romeo, whose good result moves them further up the championship. Well, that was certainly an incredible weekend of racing. Be sure to join myself and Ant for more exciting Formula One action soon.
So there we are then, having a look at the final race results. Hamilton takes Mercedes' first race victory of the season there with a 1-2 with Valtteri Bottas. Sebastian Vettel just 2/10 back at the line. A very good job by him. And Sergio Perez splitting the Ferraris. Fantastic job by him there. Charles Leclerc in fifth, Weber in 6th. Verstappen, Grosjean, myself, Raikkonen, Ghaastly, Butler, Russell, Kvyat, Albon, Sainz, Giovinazzi, Norris. And then we had, I think it was 2 other people that didn't make it through to the end of the Grand Prix. Hamilton retakes the lead of the Drivers' World Championship there. 5 points separate the top 3 after the opening few rounds of the season. Fantastic job by them. We drop down to P7 now, sadly, after a little bit of an unfortunate result there against my main rivals there. It is a very good battle between myself and Viva so far for best of the rest. And then the Constructors losing a few points now to Force India as well. That Alfa Romeo get on the board for the first time this season. But that is going to do us for this week's video. Today's F1 career mode video. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed. Like always, I'm going to leave you guys with some little, the race highlights.